Been there.
All right. Welcome back to another Lock It In YouTube special. I got Uncle Tav in here. In this series, we're going to go ahead and break down the playoff series from round one in the NBA playoffs. So this edition is going to go ahead and cover the Portland versus OKC series. We're going to go ahead and give you a key, an X factor, and an MVP from each team. But first, in the background, welcome back to Portland. We got swept last year in an ugly series to the Pelicans, back when AD still gave at least half a fuck about that city. Also, welcome back to OKC, who lost in a maybe even more deflating 6 games to Utah. Also, a special welcome back to Playoff P, who when we last saw him had 5 points on 2 of 16 shooting in an elimination game. To me, this is a must-see matchup because it's really pitting two teams with completely different styles against each other. Portland is a top 3 offensive team, and OKC is a top 5 defensive team. It also pits up the matchup of probably the 2 best point guards in the league, not named Steph Curry. I cannot wait for Damian Lillard versus Russell Westbrook. 2 guys who they have the dog in them when they go after each other.
I agree. I think it's like a very good shit. Like they both respect each other.
Battle of 2 absolute alphas.
And it brings the best out of each other. You know, sort of like very different, but like when Melo and LeBron used to play.
I totally agree with that. Melo used to get up for those games. Those were the best games.
Than LeBron.
Those are the best games. Those are the best games Melo ever played.
2 guys seem to always come to play against each other. So I think it's going to be a fun set. I think it's going to be pretty high scoring, even though OKC is a good defensive team. Containing those guards is just tough.
I totally agree.
That Portland backcourt.
Like I said, even further than that, though, it's going to be a really interesting matchup because Portland's a top 3 offensive team, but their pace is pretty middling. So they're pretty like middle of the road in pace. They are a top 10 team in net rating too, and they shoot the 3 well. My big problem with them is that they have a very low 3-point percentage off assist.
But that kind of makes sense though a little bit.
It does.
They're 2
right, but what that tells me is that when CJ and Dame shoot, they make 3s, and when the other guys shoot, they don't. And if they want to go in the playoffs and win games, those other guys have to shoot. Those other guys have to make shots. Your other guys cannot be passengers.
They're gonna be backseat players, but they're gonna need to step up. I think for my X factor, I was actually going to bring, I think that's a nice.
Okay, so before we do that, I just want to throw one more statistic out for you. OKC is 4-0 against Portland this year. That matters.
It does. That definitely does.
Go ahead.
But for the X factor.
For who? Portland?
Portland. I think it's Jake Layman.
Okay.
They need somebody to step up and be the 3rd player. Cantor's probably actually going to give them good production. Their defense is going to be atrocious.
No, I'm not going to let you get away with the Cantor's going to give you good production. I'm not letting you get away from Cantor's giving you good production.
He's just going to.
I'm going to eviscerate him, so don't worry.
You've just got to get another perimeter scorer. And Layman showed flashes where he was really good. The games where he comes in and goes 6 of 7 for 18, 20 points, they win those games. So to me, he's got to be a guy that really steps up for them. I was not a huge fan of his prior to this year, but he has turned into a very good NBA player.
So great. Thank you for that. But my X factor is actually going to be kind of along those same lines. It's going to be Cantor, and it's going to be limit the amount of time Cantor's on the floor. How many minutes does he have to play? Because he sucks. The downgrade from Nurkic to him is huge. One second. As a Knicks fan, I watched Cantor for the past year and a half. I have a very good sense of the type of player he is. And he is just the worst pick and roll defender in the entire NBA. Even if he drops back, he is such a sieve at the rim. Russell Westbrook is going to kill him getting a lead way to him. The problem is the best thing that OKC has going for them, their best play. They're at their best when they put Adams and Westbrook in the pick and roll and let those guys work. And if they do that, even if you try to force Westbrook to shoot by coming all the way back to the paint, Canner is so bad at defending the rim that what's going to happen is Russell's going to go to the rim anyway and get and ones.
I mean, Canner's atrocious at the rim.
He's also atrocious on offense because he kills your offense. He does not pass, and when he does pass, he makes the wrong fucking pass and he turns it over. Like he'll.
The thing is,
he'll get rebounds.
I know you hate Canner,
but the downgrade from Nurkic to Canner is just too big for them. Nurkic is actually a good passer.
It's big. I agree, but they're not going to give Canner touches in the post, dude. That's just not what they're going to do. I don't think he's going to be. He's going to be Canner. He's going to get offensive rebounds and put up 13 and 10.
It doesn't outweigh the defense.
Dude, their other options are terrible. I didn't say that.
I just think the guy's such a bum.
But their other options are atrocious, dude. It's Myers.
Yeah, they don't have other options. They don't have other options.
And they've got Zach Collins. So
they don't have other options. I agree with you.
Canner's
I agree with you, but if you could make him play the least amount possible, the more successful you're going to be because he's a bum. Anyway, for me, the MVP is obvious. It's Lillard and Westbrook. We talked about in the beginning, but it's really going to come down to who has a better series in this series for me, I think. One of those guys is just dominating the other guy. That team's going to win.
I think, this is actually the one upset series I would pick. I think OKC.
Well, actually, OKC is favorite in the odds.
Oh, they are favored now. Didn't realize.
It's close. I think it's like 160, minus 160.
Portland doesn't have enough firepower without Nurkic. I just don't like the rest of that team, like we touched on.
4-0 in the regular season means something too. It really does.
I actually don't.
I don't always buy into that. That's not a hard and fast rule for me, but in the games that they played this year, OKC just really took them down. I don't think it always matters, but in this situation, I think it does matter. Right. For OKC X Factor, I wonder what you're going to think of this one. It's our boy from Syracuse, Jeremy Grant, baby. 39% from three this year. If he makes his threes, his open threes, and he plays the defense and brings the energy and rebounding that he's brought all year, I really like OKC's chances in this series.
Yeah, I agree. I think Steven Adams, for me, is my X factor. I like Grant. He's actually been a great contributor this year. Really stepped into he's small ball four now.
But that also frees up Adams to even, play a little bit freer because Grant does get his fair share of rebounds too. So, Adams is no longer the only guy in there like he had been for the past few years.
But to your point earlier, Adams, to me, just has to dominate that matchup with Canner inside. He's the better player. I think he'll do it. So he's my X factor. MVP, for the Thunder,
it's got to be Westbrook. Yeah, it's got to be Westbrook.
I think it's Russ.
It's got to be.
He's going to need to have big games.
I mean, it's the same thing as in Portland. It's the same thing as in Portland. Like CJ's going to need to have big games, but at the end of the day, it's Lillard's the MVP if they win, and it's the same thing in OKC. Paul needs to have big games, just like CJ McCollum. But this matchup of the point guards is going to determine who wins the series. It's going to have to be Russ or Lillard, and I love it that way. That's why I think this series is going to be awesome.
I'm with you.
All right. Do you have a prediction on this one, or?
I got OKC in 6.
Yeah.
I think they steal one early in Portland, and they end up getting one late too. Maybe they might even get both in Portland, to be honest with you. George plays well.
Right. I just really wanted to go as long as possible. I want to see a great series. I really hope I don't see either team get bounced in 4 games, at least 6, hopefully 7. Would love to see a game 7 between these two teams. Because I have a feeling if it was game 7, we would see like some crazy dueling 40-point game between Lillard and Westbrook.